Alright guys, today we are going to be making the start of a very simple game using Python. So this is 25 lines of code. It's not really difficult, just bear with me and try it along with me. So first things first, we're going to use a library called Pygame, okay? So again, at the top, you know we've been doing this for the last few times. We're going to import something called Pygame. And just so you know, this stuff matters, like not capitalizing. If you see on my screen that I'm not capitalizing things, please don't capitalize. That could be a reason why your code is not working, okay? Just so you know. So on the very top, we're going to import Pygame, and we need to tell Python that we are going to actually initialize or run Pygame. So we're just going to do this, pygame.init. It stands for initiate, Pygame initiate, okay? So Pygame is a game. Well, not is a game. Pygame is a library you can use to make games. So every game needs a screen. Now this screen's not going to cut it because this only does text. So we are going to make the screen right now in this line. So if I type in, we're going to call the game screen window. Let's abbreviate it win. Okay, and we're going to set it equal to a variable. So the name is win, and then we're going to just do this. Ready? We're going to do pygame dot display dot set underscore mode. Okay? And then all we need to do here is do double parentheses, and now we're telling Python how big we want the game window to be. We're going to stick with 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels, okay? And now watch what happens when we hit run here. It's going to, the first time it runs, it's going to import and download Pygame. So you're going to see something like this. There it is, okay? So now I have a screen here. You're going to get some errors because of replit, that's fine. We just created a game screen in Python. It's that easy, okay? So now we're gonna do the settings for the character. So I'm gonna put a hashtag here, okay? And this is how you do comments. I'm just gonna do below here. Let's just do character settings, okay? And that's just a comment for us, okay? It's not anything else. On the next line, we're gonna put about 5 things to make our character, and we're only gonna make our character very simple. We're gonna make it like a square here, but we need the position of the character. Where's the character going to start on this screen? So if you know anything about math and graphing, in a graph, we have an x-axis and a y-axis. Same thing in Pygame. Look where my mouse is. In Pygame, though, we have the x-axis that goes from left to right, and the y-axis that goes from top to bottom. However, the start point, the 0, 0, or the origin, starts here in the upper left-hand corner, okay? So, in Pygame, we are going to make a variable named x, a variable named y. Those two are going to be where does the character start on our graph here. And then we're going to have width and height. And we're going to have this, VEL. It stands for velocity. In this case, we're just going to make that mean how fast our character is moving. So for and this can be really anything. I'm going to put 105, okay? Now, this is where it matters, right? If I put 10 by 10 here, our character is going to be 10 pixels by 10 pixels. Okay, obviously if our screen is 1,000 by 1,000, our character is going to look fairly small, which is what I wanted. And for this one, velocity, we're going to put the number 10 as well. This number is arbitrary. It can be changed. All this can be changed anytime, so don't worry about this. This is what we're going to start with, okay? So that's easy. We made the character settings there. Very good. So now, next, and I'm going to keep commenting these just to kind of explain what I'm doing here. So next, we are going to detect any events and loop. Oops, not error. Okay, so now we're basically just going to tell Python, hey, if you do anything, if you detect an event is anything like a mouse click, a button press, keep doing it. So this part's confusing, but just bear with me. We're going to make a variable named run and set it equal to true. In Python, you can just do that. And then we're going to do while run colon enter. And we're going to do pygame dot time dot delay 100. Okay. So again, guys, when you do this stuff and press enter, it's automatically putting these spaces for you. It should match with this video, okay? Just so you know. So this is just saying, hey, while the game is running, let's slightly delay how often it refreshes. Don't worry about this too much. I also don't really want you to worry about what I'm doing next. You have to do it, but don't think too much into this. We're going to write 4 events in Pygame. Okay. For event in Pygame dot event dot get. And we're going to put a colon. And we're going to do if event dot type is equal to pygame dot quit in capitals, the colon, run equals false. Okay. Now that was a lot. This stuff, again, we don't need to delve too deep into this. Just know that this is basically saying while the game is running, I want to delay the game a little bit, and for each event, so that means each button press or mouse movement or whatever, if I do something like that will quit the game, it's gonna quit. And that's really all. Okay, don't think too much into that. Let's get back to something more easy. Okay, so now you're gonna space, and you're gonna space back to where an indent where it lines up to 4. Okay. All we're going to do now is we're going to put the button presses in we need to move the character, okay? So we're going to just name that keys. And we're going to do equals pygame dot key dot get underscore pressed, okay? So if you can guess, we're going to put in movement keys because it's saying, hey, we're going to use some code that can program keys, okay? So now, this is going to be very simple. I want you to write if keys, and then in brackets, little square brackets, we're going to do pygame dot k underscore left, okay? Now watch. I want you to, and then a colon. Now all I want you to do is copy this. Ready? 3 times. Copy, paste. Whoops, and we don't want indentations. Paste, paste. Okay. Now, all you're going to do for this, you're going to do left, and you're going to change it to right, up, and then down. Okay. Now, ready? This is going to kind of make sense if you think about a graph. Okay. So we're going to put spaces there. We're going to actually put 2 spaces. So watch this. Ready? I'm going to indent it, and we're just going to do this. X minus, and there's an equal sign in there, VEL. Okay? So that kind of looks weird, but if you think about it, I'm saying, and I really want you to think about this, because remember, this is a graph. It runs on an XY. This is saying if I press the left key, I'm going to take the X. I'm going to take the X-axis, so that means the left and right here, and I'm going to minus the X position by the velocity, by 10. So in other words, if I press left key once, my character is going to move from the 100 point on my graph to 90. Okay? So if we're moving left, of course you want that. Now, ready? You can copy and paste this too. I'm going to space. If I want to move right, I'm not going to subtract, but I'm going to add. Okay? Very easy, right? Now, I'll copy and paste it again under here. However, this is not going to be it. For up, it's going to be y is going to be minus equals velocity. And for this one under here, y equals plus equals velocity. Okay? You're almost done. If you've gotten this far, you guys are doing fantastic. And I'm going to put a comment here that says movement, just to kind of tell us what we're doing. All right, last part. You have 3 lines left. We're going to do this. Win.fill, and we're going to do double parentheses, 0, 0, 0. This just means fill the window with a color. It's going to be black. Just we had to do that. And now we have to put in the character. Okay, now this part's easy. Ready? We're going to type pygame.draw.rect, and that means draw a rectangle in parentheses here. Okay, we're going to do double parentheses. Okay, so we're going to come over here between the first two. We're going to put win. Okay, this just means, hey, we are referring to, you're going to draw the rectangle in the win in this window up here that we made. So draw the rectangle on this window. Okay. And then we're going to come inside here. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 values, 255, 0, and 0. Leave that for now. You'll see why. Then we're going to put a comma after the last one. And then finally, we're going to put in another parentheses and do x, comma, y, comma, width, comma, heights. Okay? So I just want you to think about this, okay? So this is the character we're making. 1, we specified where we're going to draw the character in here. We specified this is going to be the color of the character. You can change these numbers later to get a different color. And this stuff is just all the stats about the character. We already did that, though, up here, right? So these stats are saying to draw it starting at this x value, this y value. It's saying to make it 10 by 10 and to make the speed of the character 10 as well, because we've already defined it up here. Finally, to finish this, I want you to do pygame.display.update. And then open and close parentheses. Now, if you've done all this, you've done a great job. You know, this is more complex, okay? But if you copy this exactly how I have it, make sure you have all the colons and the parentheses and all the things you need. When you hit run, you have created, and it takes a second. Let's see if mine works. Let me just try to change the color to see if that's it. And even I have trouble with this sometimes, so let me just make sure that I have everything I need. Color. So even I have to go back and troubleshoot sometimes. Sometimes Pygame has a little bit of trouble on Replit. I'm just going to refresh my screen here. So let's see, guys. Hold on one sec. So you'll find that sometimes Replit sometimes has a little bit of trouble. You have to give it a few minutes, but let's just see. Okay, let's try this. So, there we go. I opened the other file I had with this. So notice this up here, okay? If you done all this code right, I have a little yellow square. And now look, if I press my up, down, left, or right, it is actually moving the character. All right? Now, Now, watch this. If I change this velocity number, let's say I change it to 60 or something higher, nothing is going to really change immediately, but when I move now, the character's moving a lot faster because the velocity is higher. Now, the thing we haven't done yet is stopped it from going off the screen, so I could easily make my character go off the screen. If you lose it, just hit stop and run again. But I'm going to change that back to, something reasonable, 10, 20. Final thing, this number down here can change. So if you change any of this, if I make this like 50 and this 100, you can play around with this. It's going to change the color of the character. Okay, so notice the character is more orange now. You can play around with that, okay? So this is all the work you're getting for this week, okay? I really want you to try to get this. If you get this, you guys are awesome, okay? This is beyond anything I have done with my classes so far in Python, but if you get this, you guys are awesome. If you're having trouble, don't worry, okay? I'm going to post the code later in the week for you to copy and paste to get it working on yours, but please try it first yourselves because I really want to see what we're capable of, okay? I think this is a really good project.